back in the car, day 37. So I did get my blood work, some of it back. My folic acid is fine. My vitamin B12 is great. My zinc is a little bit low. And my vitamin D is perfectly balanced, so we're doing a good job. I did take vitamin D as supplements as well, so maybe this is to that. My iron is completely down, so on Friday I'm gonna have an infusion if you say that, with iron, so we're gonna figure that one out. And see if it's getting better, because it takes about 10 weeks to show in the blood actually if it's working or not. And I did test everything, vitamin C, all the B, all the A, all the omegas and calcium, so we're gonna figure this one out. This is the actually good news. The bad news is that I got my MRT back, which I did yesterday, from my brain and my here, my neck. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. My multiple sclerosis is spreading even with the medication, and the medication is causing me a lot of problems. And I told my doctor I don't want to take them anymore because they're not working, first thing, and they're causing me constant symptoms like an infection. So I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm done. As well, I went to the hairdresser, if you see. It's not really cool, I have to say, because I did notice that I do have very short hair. My hair is getting shorter in the front. And I thought at the beginning, oh wow, I do grow new hair, great. And then my hairdresser said today, your hair is breaking a lot. And that's not what my hair usually does. It's like, I do have like lion hair, a lot of volume, always very strong hair. And she said, yeah, do you take any medication? I say, yeah. So that's because of my medication start breaking. So I'm sick of it. I'm so fucking sick of this bullshit autoimmune disease, which is causing me, things. I forget a lot of things. My brain is not working like it should. My legs are not working like they should. I cannot walk longer than 5,000 steps a day without any pain. I do have struggles with everything. The medication is now causing me a lot of problems, and maybe also, hurting my stomach with all the issues I do have with histamine now and the allergies. And it's, for the love of God, I cannot always figure out what is causing me not, so I cannot breathe. So I'm so fucking done with all this bullshit. So if I can heal from carnivore, everybody can heal from carnivore. I can really say that. And I talked to my dad, and I told him that my gut feeling, everything in my body is screaming, do carnivore, don't give up, do it, stop doing everything else, stop doing the medication, stop doing this. And I do it in a safe environment. I did talk to my doctor, so we're gonna do that in a proper way. I do my blood works. I don't do anything just stupid and just stop that. It will cause maybe problems. So I'm sick of it. On Friday we're gonna stop with MS medications. I'm done. I'm so fucking done. And I'm also gonna have the infusion with the iron and see what is happening there. And I will get the other blood work back in the next couple of days. It should be done. And also every 3 to 6 months I'm gonna compare my blood work, so we actually will see what is happening and see also the medical part of what is happening in my body. And that's interesting, because even with my MS, I always, or every 6 months, do have an MRT. So if something will change, which shouldn't change, because they say it's not possible that something goes back, like I'm having the lesions now, that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting if this happens. So I'm gonna be the live scene experiment in this crazy thing. And it's just, I did have today so many anxieties. I was like, I would love to cry right now, honestly. It was just, I got the results and I was reading it, and my voice is breaking down. and I started having just a panic attack. I couldn't breathe anymore. I was just, yeah, I was so done. I was so devastated in the moment. And I know what, these things happen. I know that, but I was just done. I was honestly just done. And I almost started crying. And so, never judge a book by its cover. I was in an office with a lot of people, and I was like, oh yeah, smiling, happy, I can do it proper. You will believe me. But from the inside, I was like, I want to die right now. That was my, honestly, things that I thought. And that's what this looks like also from the inside. And I do feel my heart is somebody squeezing my heart. My hormones are, I feel it, that they are completely out of balance, which is actually always in the same day in the month. I do feel my hormones getting completely out of control. And on carnivore, you should eat more fat. And I see my body that I want to eat all the time. These little pork fat thingies, it's craving fat, fat, fat. So there is something into this part. So I would love if you guys can tell me if you as men have also same kind of disbalance, and at the same time in a month do you feel something different happening and that you are not yourself. I would love to know that, because for us women, we do have the PMS things that we have a week where maybe we are not ourselves. And I can tell you, if you have a wife or a mother or a sister or whatever, or a daughter, it's unbelievable the feeling you as a woman have actually. And I would love to know if it's for men maybe the same. It's I'm not myself. I'm completely out of control of everything in my body. I want to cry, I want to scream, I want to laugh, it's just so out of control, and I cannot figure out how to put it back in the pocket. And for me, it's very extreme, and I just want to cry now, and my whole body is shaking, and I feel that it's just out of control. So I would love to know if it's for men the same thing, honestly. So yeah, let me know that. I did have today, I was so unbelievable hungry, because now I'm getting into these days where I just need more. My body needs more. And my mom did make some sausage and cheese for my kid. I didn't want to, I wanted to fast actually, but he didn't like it, and I was so hungry, so I did eat it. And I cannot say if I have any reactions, because as soon as I went into the office, everybody was having coffee with milk, and I was like, I want to have a coffee, I'm tired, I want to have it. And then I had 2 coffees today with milk. And I also did have my water. I put a tea, this cold tea thing into my water, and it's very sweet. So I'm not sure, it doesn't stand that there is something in it besides maybe it's stevia and just another name, because it's unbelievable sweet. So I do think that this might be also causing me some of the issues I do have as well, and not keeping me in balance. And I'm so hungry. And then we went to our restaurant where we go together as a team, and I did again have steak, and it was so interesting because it's the second time I went there. And the woman, the waitress, doesn't know us all, and she was like, are you not eating carbs, not even salad and these kind of things, and are you fasting because of Easter and so on? And I said, no, not because of Easter. And she said, yeah, how long do you gonna do that? And I said, I don't know. I just want to do it. And I didn't went to it, and I said, yeah, I don't eat carbs. And her husband or brother, I'm not sure, came, and he was so funny. He was like, how can you eat a steak with something else besides the steak and the butter? That's just devious, it's just horrible. She's doing the right thing. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. So I did have a very nice and pleasant experience, and they were cute about it. And I also had a discussion with one of my colleagues. He went very, very sick with his stomach, and he was going to a lot of doctors, paying a lot of money, figuring out what is wrong. He was like having problems, diarrhea and puking all the time. It's just suddenly. And he was testing everything out, and everybody said they don't know what's wrong with him. He doesn't have any problems, and they don't know. And then he said also, yeah, I don't know, many people say maybe keto to try this. And then I was feeling confident to tell him what I'm doing. And it was a very pleasant first, talking about it with somebody that actually do understand and is not judgy. And then when we were at the restaurant and having this steak, the vegan man was sitting there eating his, he's a vegetarian, sorry, he's a vegetarian, eating his vegetarian stuff. And we were talking about meat, and he has a daughter. And one of the colleagues asked him suddenly if his daughter is also vegetarian. And he said, yeah, he really read a lot of studies and things if this is okay. And they say, yeah, it's okay. And the child is going to be very healthy. And but his grandmother, from the child, his mother-in-law, is telling them that they're doing it wrong, and why don't you give the kid meat? The kid needs also meat, and so on. And he was like, no, he doesn't, and it's so annoying, and he doesn't get it. And then everybody was starting to discuss this, and I was like, not saying a word. I was like, I'm not gonna go into this, not at all. It's their decision, it's their child. It's, everything can be true or not true. If they're feeling fine, if they're feeling good, go for it. I don't think that's the right way to go, and I'm not gonna be one of these old people telling him what to do. Besides me not even having that kind of an experience for long enough to feel entitled to tell somebody to do something. So, and I know he's a vegetarian because he don't want to, the cows and all this to suffer. And so he does have this point of view, which doesn't really get with my point of view. So I'm not gonna discuss anything like this with somebody. And then both of them, the guy which want to go keto and the vegetarian, both are getting children and another children. So their women were pregnant. And my third colleague, I just discovered that he's gonna be married soon. He proposed to his girlfriend. So there were so many news, and I was feeling so awful because I was happy for them, but at the same time I did get this bad news from my MRT, and I was feeling somehow in a little bit of a loop of kind of depressed situation and really just want to cry and crawl into a hole. And yeah, but it's okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, and I do believe so hard. And I do have that also for my father, because we just did have a phone call, and he's having major health issues, and he should be actually dead for 10 years now. So he did found a lot of variation, shamans, different kind of people healing from a telephone, all these things, or some special creams from China or Japan. And he was like going crazy with the medical part. So he actually is very known in all these kind of things, because school medicine not always helped him. So it was very interesting to talk to him again. And one thing, he was an ambassador for the Ukraine, so this part does really get to him, that because a lot of people he knowed and he cared a lot about, he was friends with our dad now. So he said, whatever feels right for your body. We are still in such a luxurious position to be, what happens in the world, and we can be very happy for every day we have. And I think sometimes we tend to forget that. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a friendly reminder to remember that you still, all the to remind yourself of the good things you have in your life, even if they're little or big or whatever. It's just so important to not get too deep into it, and there are solutions for everything, and yeah, everyone and everything. So yes, so I'm getting emotional damage. Like my son said this morning, emotional damage. I don't have emotional damage. Maybe I do, but I'm happy to have you guys, and I appreciate your comments so much, and every morning I do read them. So I will at my 30 days I did collect all of your comments and read them all again and write them down and you know, talk to my 30-day video. And I decided I'm gonna always on the end of the month you know, go through the comments again, write them down, and just give some impulses that you guys gave me then in one video. So yeah, that helped me a lot to do that. Because then sometimes you are not that far and some comments and advices do come handy later in the journey. So that's really cool to see. And I just love you guys. Honestly, I told my dad about you. So I told my dad there are people outside who are really nice and kind, and they do exist and they do help, and I feel like a part of a beautiful community and people supporting each other and being nice to each other and just so lovely. And yeah, now I'm starting to cry again, damn it. So I love you, and thank you for everything, honestly, and see you tomorrow.